स्वामी भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वातरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। उकारो अन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृत्तश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। In our tradition, whenever we study Upanishads, in this which Upanishad we are studying and it belongs to which Vedas. Of that Vedas, the Shanti mantra to be chanted before studying the Upanishad. That is what we chanted, Bhadram Karnebi, Shanti mantra of this particular Veda. Now we are in the Māṇḍūkya Upanishad's last verse. And after this last verse, we will continue to study the kārikā, which is the traditional way of studying the Māṇḍūkya Upanishad. Kārikā is very important, relevant to know the meaning of the Māṇḍūkya Upanishad. Remember, without kārikā, Māṇḍūkya Upanishad, you can study just understanding the meaning and live along with the meaning. But kārikā will help you to get more clarity, precise way of understanding the meaning without any errors or doubts. So much meaningful words are being given by the Acharya, Gaudapada Acharya in the kārikā. He wrote the kārikā for the Māṇḍūkya Upanishad. Now we will study the final verse of Māṇḍūkya Upanishad and we will see what Shankara has written as commentary, as Shankara Bhashyam for that last and final verse of Māṇḍūkya Upanishad. Amatraha chaturthaha avyavaharyaha prapancha upashamaha Shivaha Advaitaha eva Omkaraha Atma eva Samvishati Atmana Atmanam Ya Evam Veda. Once more I will read. Those who want to read for their desire, for their likes, I will read once more. Amatraha chaturtaha avyavaharyaha prapancha upashamaha Shivaha Advaitaha Evam Omkaraha Atma Eva Samvishadi Atmana Atmanam Ya Evam Veda. Okay. What is the meaning of this verse which we already saw? Amatraha, free from letters. Matras are not there. Matra, time duration, letters. That which doesn't have any letters, which is soundless. When there is no letters, there is no uttering, there is no sound, soundless. Chaturthaha. In the Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, the first three states are explained properly, and the locus of these states are the topic of Māṇḍūkya Upaniṣad, the base of these three states. That base is explained as the fourth among the explanation of three states. First three states are explained, and the base is explained as the fourth. So the locus, the base of all these three states don't have any connection with the four. Still, we say as a numerical expression that it is the fourth, even though there is no connection with these three states. We only got the explanation by the Upanishad as the fourth. So we say him as the fourth, Turiyaha. This is the word used by the Māṇḍūkya Upanishad, the fourth one, which is the base of all these three states. Chaturthaha, Avyavaharyaha, which is not available for empirical dealing, which is free from name and form. There is no indications of its presence. We cannot infer, we cannot resemble with somebody. There is no perception of this base, what we call the Turiyaha, Amatraha, the soundless, the letterless Brahman. Avyavaharya. When it is not a name or mind or a form, name means a name is uttered, name is indicated through our speech and mind. When the speech and mind will directly connect with the respective form. So, speech, mind, and form together an object. All together become an object to be dealt by me. So, dealing is only possible when the word, when the mind, when the when the form, everything goes together. When there is name and when there is no name and form, the mind cannot also grasp or think, so that it doesn't mean that there is nothing without having form or name in this world. This is to be understood. Remember, when we say there is no such a thing in the world, means there is no name or form for Brahman. The name and form of something will limit from another form. When something's limitless, which is all pervading in and through everywhere, it cannot be in a one form, or it cannot be in one name. There is no name and form, a name and form for Brahman, so that the mind cannot also think about that, so that it is not possible for dealing in our empirical world. It is not an object, in our empirical world, because people will have some misconception regarding Brahman as they deal with a pot, deal with their car, deal with their stars, they perceive flowers, they perceive different people. Similarly, mind will perceive this Brahman. They they misunderstood, they misunderstand this thing, that Brahman is available for our dealing. Brahman is available to perceive. That idea should be cut off. That idea is a misunderstanding idea. That is what it is told avyavaharya, free from names and forms, so that the mind cannot think, but the essence of the mind, that consciousness is Brahman. Mind can only think about the secondary thing. Prapancha upashamaha. That is the cessation of worldly things, free from all kinds of sorrows and worries, free from pain, free from the duality, free from all kinds of my incidental features. What are my incidental features? My body is incidental. It comes on a date, it goes on a date. It will go in future. It's incidental. My beauty is incidental. My house is incidental. The entire world is incidental. Everything what I get connected, what I see in this world are incidental. They come and they go after a period of time. What is not there before and after, that is not there at present also. This is the logic Gaudapada Acharya presents in his kārikā. We are going to see. Adau andecha yennasti, that which is not there in the beginning, that which is not there in the end, that is not there at the present also. It is not there in the present. Even though we perceive, it is not there at all. That is what being told here. Adau andecha yennasti vartamanebi tatthada. We are going to see that kārikā. So the world what I perceive is only a falsified idea. This is what is mentioned by Prapancha Upashama. When I understand that the world is a falsified idea, an erroneous notion, then it is just like what I perceive as a snake is not there at all. The only rope which is yet to, which I understood right now is only existing in and through, before and after. When the idea of the snake is taken away by getting the real knowledge, that is the cessation of the snake notion. Snake notion, it's not the cessation of snake which is outside. The notion which I have inside that it is a snake will get seized. This is called Prapancha Upashamaha, the total cessation of the world which I thought it is true is no more at all. There is no world at all, even though I perceive. That is called Prapancha Upashamaha. Shivaha, the one and only thing which is auspicious in this world. The world is a superimposition on this Shivam, an auspicious entity, which is Mangal, because Truth is always auspicious. Untruth is always impure and always it is the point of fear and suffering. So this is the only thing which is auspicious. When we come to know the reality, we have the peace, we have the serenity, we have everything. That is why it is called Shivam, Advaitaha, non-dual. What is meant by non-dual? Even though I perceive different names and forms, the content of all names and forms is the only Brahman. Just like in the pot maker's house, we perceive different pots, we perceive different things made of clay. Everything is centered on one single material called clay. Even though I perceive different pots, etc., etc., all the things are nothing but clay. This understanding is called Advaita Jnana. Similarly, I perceive different names and forms. I perceive king. I perceive beggar. I perceive the rich. I perceive the poor. I perceive a teacher. I perceive an illiterate. I perceive a kid. I perceive an old. I perceive a bird. I perceive an animal. I perceive an aquatic species. Anything what I perceive in the world are just name and form which is not existing at the present time. Okay, Vedastai. At the present, even though I perceive all these things, they are centered, they are coming into exist by only one entity. Existence of any name and form is possible due to the Brahman. Without the Brahman, without the base, without the locus, no superimposition possible. Knowing that one and only thing is the base of entire name and form world, then you have Advaita Jnana. Myself, I am not this body, the self. The self is identified as Brahman. Similarly, Tattvamasi, you are that. The thing which I perceive is also nothing but Brahman. Thus, anything what I perceive in the world is nothing but one single consciousness. All names and forms are just a superimposition on the reality. Thus, Advaitaha. This is being represented by the word Omkaraha. Advaitaha eva, indeed Omkara. Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara, Samyoga, everything together. Om. The three states are being represented by the three letters, and all together they become Om. And the silence after uttering the Om will become the Brahman, soundless Brahman, which is fourth. Om will Om will represent the three states, three matras, and after that there is a silence. That silence is Brahman. The Om is also Brahman. One who knows completely in this manner after studying this Upanishad under a traditional teacher, what he will get the result as Atma eva sampishati atmana atmanam. The person will understand, will recognize the Atman, the self is nothing but Brahman and get unified. It will Become Brahman, it's only a formal explanation. There is no becoming of Brahman, there is only recognition of oneself. One will recognize, I am not this body, I am not this color of skin, I am not this much height, I am nothing. I am the thing which is the base of all these name and form. In reality, I never happened to be a body. In reality, I never become a wife of anybody. In real, I never become a businessman. In real, I never become a householder. All are the incidental roles of the human body. This human body itself is an incidental role. As long as we are not aware of our real nature, we take it granted that human body is me. I am a human being. This is being shaken. How? By knowing the reality of my nature. The intrinsic nature is self, the consciousness. That consciousness is not a simple conscious. It is the all-pervading consciousness, what is called Brahman. That Brahman is in and through different bodies. That Brahman is spoke by the Upanishad. That is being told here by recognizing my real nature, by recognizing the self of oneself. It will enter into the self. It will identify that I am Brahman, Yaha Evam Veda. In this manner, if a person comes to know. Thus, a person is an enlightened one after knowing the real nature of oneself. One who knows oneself is the enlightened one. One who knows I am human body is the person who is an ignorant. Ignorant one is the person who has to study, who is eligible to study. No other way. Ignorant one. The person who is ignorant about oneself is eligible. It is not the person who know everything should study Māṇḍūkya kārikā. That will not serve the purpose. When you come to know that I am this human body, then you are eligible. People think that I have to enter into the spiritual life after knowing everything. No. After knowing everything, what is the point of entering into something? There is no need of entering. A person who is filled with a lot of confusion, a person who is loaded with a lot of responsibilities that I am human body, a person who is really have pain and sorrows in one's life, that person should take the medicine called Vedantam, Upanishads. It's not that I don't have any liabilities, I don't have any responsibilities. Now I will go to Vedanta or I will study some spiritual disciplines and spiritual things under a guru. Mostly people used to think like that. An ignorant person is the qualified person to study Vedanta. He need really remedies. That is what been spoke about. That which is free from all letters, that which is incomprehensible, not available for any kind of empirical dealing. Prapancha upashamaha. All kinds of dealing is been cut off because there is no name and form for Brahman. It's not an object at all. And Shivaha, the eternal happiness or an auspicious entity, the source of eternal happiness, Shiva. Advaitaha, non-dual, which is free from any kind of limitations. And it is the fourth Turiya, one who knows like this. It is an effort of 12 years, not one day talk. When you go to a guru, be ready with a commitment to study under him in spite of all the obstacles to be faced in one's life. Remember, who doesn't have any obstacles in life? Any person you meet in the life is struggling. They have their own standpoints. I also have some issues. He also have some issues. She also have some issues. Everybody is struggling. Not only me. I take myself, I am the only person who is struggling with a lot of obstacles. No, it is universal. Any human being or any living being is subject to pain and sorrow. It's universal. But a wise should choose to get rid of that, to free from all kinds of sorrows. Nobody choose that, Everybody want to be free. Everybody is a mumukshu. Mumukshu means one who desire, one who have the wish to be free from all kinds of limitation, all kinds of sorrow, all kinds of pain. But nobody want to take the medicine. Any kind of issues or any kind of limitation, any kind of pain is due to the illusion, due to the error, due to confusion. When a person is completely confused, just like some mistaken identity is being there right in front of us, like a snake. Why should I change the example of Adi Shankara? He has given a perfect example, a snake crop example. When you think it is a snake, there are a lot of confusions, pain, sorrow, etc., etc. Once you come to know, you recognize by the help of somebody, it's not a snake, but it's a rock. Then all kinds of pain and sorrow will go from our life. Similarly, as long as I think myself, I am a human being, I am a husband, I am a worker, I am this, I am this years old, I cannot enjoy this world like others. All these things are due to illusion. These notions will go away once you understand I am not this human body, I am the source of unlimited happiness. Thus, a person from Mumukshu should know to change their role into Jijnasu, a person who wants to know the real nature and a person wants to give up the unreal nature. This is called Jijnasu. Nobody want to be Jijnasu. Everybody want to be free from obstacles. Mumukshu. Everybody if you ask, there will be some problem with them. Do you have any problem? Yes, I have a problem, this and that. So he is a mumukshu. Want to free from or get rid of from his daily obstacles of life. But nobody want to be free by taking the real path. A jitnyasu will come to know all my pain and sorrow is due to misunderstanding about myself. Thus, one day I changed my role from mumukshu to jijnasu. Very few people come to study the real nature. Most of us will struggle and will thrive like a mumukshu in this world. Fine. That is why it is called Eva Omkaraha Atma Eva Samvishadi. Actually, Samvishadi means get into, merge. There is no merging. Even though the word have the literal meaning called merging, recognizes, a person will recognize oneself that he is not a human being with all kinds of limited features. He is the unlimited Brahman. Thus, a person knowing oneself, the nature, that person will become Brahman. One who knows Brahman will become Brahman. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Mundaga Upanishad says, when you know yourself, you will become that because already you are that. Not considering myself Brahman, even though I am Brahman, I went into different issues. At last, somebody helped me. You are not human being to be suffered because thinking of brothers, thinking of son and daughters, thinking of parents, thinking of my uncle, thinking of my vehicle, thinking all these things are misconception, erroneous notion, because body itself never existed at any point of time. And you have made a lot of mistakes considering your body. Thus, understanding the reality is very easy for the intellect. But to make understand the mind from the intellect is the biggest part in our life. This is what we call yogi, yujyade. What is understood for the intellect, we should make to understand for our mind, which is a small kid. It will not give up all these stupid ideas that I am a body. I should have some pleasures with my body. I should meet somebody. I should eat something. I should have some fun with somebody. This is the thinking of the mind. Making understanding the mind is the biggest task in our life. That is why after studying Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam in a lonely place, with the help of the Shastra, with the help of the words of our teacher, one needs to go again and again and again. This is what we called the entire process of Vedanta, three different types of disciplines to be done without any amendment after listening to the Vedanta for making understand our mind. Okay? That is why Atmana Atmanam Samvishadi. One will understand I am the Brahman, not the human body. By knowing, he will become a person liberated while living. He will become immortal from the mortal state because he is already an immortal being, but he thought that I am mortal due to my human body. The person will become mortal, immortal from the mortal. This is called Atmana Atmanam Yaha Veda, one who comes to know. I was reading the Bhashya. I would like to read whole Shankara's Bhashya. That will be our task today. I will read for every word Acharya Shankara Bhagavad Padar has written Bhashya. Amatraha Matraha yasya nasti saha amatraha. That which is free from letters, soundless. When there is no letters, there is no sound. The consciousness which follows after uttering the Omkara is called amatraha. Omkaraha chaturtaha turiyaha. Even though three words are there, they are one and the same entity. Omkaraha, it is Brahman. Chaturtaha, which is fourth in explanation. Turiyaha, which is the base of entire three states. The base is real. The experiences which we go through these three states are not real. Experiences are to be dumped in the waste basket, just taking the lessons. Nothing to do with the experiences. I eat this cake, I eat that cake, I want to fulfill that way. Experience doesn't have any role with connected to Vedanta. The essence is needed. What moral I got, that's all we need. No need to experience everything in order to become a genius. Something you can infer. Yes, somebody got some burns due to fire. You need not to put your finger in the fire to know what is burning. It you can infer. If we put my finger in the fire, it will get burned. This is infer. Similarly, all the things need not to be experienced. Few things you infer and you get rid of from that. Anything materially charming or pleasing is filled with 90% sorrows and unhappiness. 10% is only filled with happiness. That happiness is the reflection which starts from you and reflect through that object. So, if you analyze even any object in the world, this object is not subject to make me happy. Why then people are buying this object in order to get happiness? That is a wrong idea. People are not having the idea that happiness is starting from one's own Brahman, from oneself, not one's own, one from oneself. Happiness is not coming from that. It's only a mirror, an object. Our happiness reflects from that. That's all. So this is why it is called prapancha amatraha omkaraha chaturtaha turiyaha. The fourth one. Atma eva kevalaha abhidana abhideya rupayoho vang manasayoho kshinatvat avyavaharyaha. Atma eva kevalam abhideya rupayoho vak manasayoho kshinatvat avyavaharyaha. Atma eva avyavaharyaha. It should be taken like that. Myself is not subject for empirical dealing. I am not a name, I am not a form. My human body has a form, my human body has a name, it's called human body. But myself is not human body. I am avyavaharya. I am not subject to any kind of empirical dealing. Why? Abhidana abhideya rupayoho vang manayoho kshinatvat. Designation and the respective form. A name and its respective form. When I say matchbox, you will get a form inside your mind because you are familiar with the matchbox. Fetch, fetch some water. When I say water, you will have an idea about the water. You will have a thought in the mind about water, and you will have that object also. Anything when we utter with our tongue, it will directly connect with the particular object. Thus, name and form and mind goes together. When something doesn't have any form, how can we explain? How can we describe the Brahman? The consciousness which is the base of all names and forms. And also, na iti na iti. Whatever you perceive, it is not Brahman. Whatever you think, it is not Brahman. Whatever we see in the world with a lot of glories, that's not Brahman. Like that, na iti na iti. Not this, not this. What is perceived, it is not. The content of the perception is Brahman. The content which I perceived is Brahman. But I am not Brahman. I am means the human body is not Brahman. The content of the human body is Brahman. Like that, my way of thinking was like that. I am this human body. That should be taken away. That is why it is told here, Kshinatvad avyavaharyaha. The cessation of the name, the cessation of the form, the cessation of the thought inside the mind has dropped. All are dropped. Nothing exists now. Everything got ceased. No thoughts about the worldly objects, no thoughts regarding forms, no uttering of names, because everything is nothing but consciousness. This is called Kshina. And Prapancha Upashamaha. There is no Prapancha. Upashamaha. Everything got resolved. Even though I perceive different names and forms, there is no such things in this world. Prapancha Upashamaha. Shivaha Advaitaha Samprataha Evam Yata Ukta Vijnanavata Prayuktaha Omkaraha Omkaraha Trimatraha Tripadaha Atma Eva. Prapancha Upashamaha, which is the cessation of worldly objects, it's not an object at all. Shivaha Advaitaha. It's the auspicious entity. It is the only thing which bring all kinds of glories in one's life. Advaitaha, non-dual Brahman, that is Atman. Samvritaha evam, one who knows clearly like this. Yada ukta vijnanavataha. What is being told by the Upanishad, in the same manner he understood properly. Yata ukta vijnanavata prayuktaha. What is being understood properly by what is told by the Upanishad, that is actually Omkaraha. The person will understand as Omkaraha. Omkara being the name of the Brahman, even though it is Amatraha, the name will end up in soundless Brahman, letterless Brahman. Amatraha, that is also Trimatraha, Tripataha. A person should recognize oneself as Omkaraha, which has three states, which is three letters, and Atma Eva. I am being pointed by the Omkaraha. I am this Omkar. So, whenever we chant Om is nothing, it is directly pointing my consciousness, my pointing my real nature. Sambhishati enters, merged. Atmana svena eva swayam paramartikam atmanam yaha evam veda. That limitless human being notion has given up. I am this human body, that has been given up. There is no notion about oneself that I am human body. This is the merging. When we point out towards a person who is clear regarding the snake, what he perceived in the dark, in a room. We point out him. There is no snake in that room. It's only a rope laying down, and you, in the darkness, you didn't see properly. Now the person is free from all kinds of fear. The real nature of the snake is being discovered by the person. That discovery is the cessation of the snake notion. Similarly, the discovery of one's own real nature is the cessation of all kinds of pain and suffering due to the misconception regarding oneself. Paramarthadarshi, after knowing that the real nature, a person will ceases to think about oneself, I am this human being. It will be the cessation of all kinds of wrong ideas. Paramarthadarshi, Brahmavit, Tridiyam, Bijabhavam, Dadva, Atmanam, Pravishtaha, Idi, Na Punaha Jayade, Turiyasya Abhijatva. Paramarthadarshi, this person is now Paramarthadarshi, seeing as it is what they are. Paramarthadarshi, one who sees the real thing. Paramartham, the reality, the truth. Darshi, one who understands about the real truth about oneself. That Darshi, Bahya, Brahmavit Tritiyam Bijabhavam Dadva. That person is called Brahmavit. Brahmam Janadi, Brahmam Veti idi Brahmavit. One who knows Brahman is called Brahmavit, the knower of Brahman. What he will have? Tridiyam Bijabhavam Dadva. The whole three states, all the third position, Bijabhavam Dadva, there is a potential to get another birth when we don't know I am Brahman. When we think I am this body and I live a life with a wife and children, and incidentally I got rich, I have got some money due to my effort in the business, everything is okay. But after giving up the body, there is a problem. According to my impressions inside my mind, according to my desires, I will take another birth. It will not be very desirable life. This is from one life to the another life. After the death, there is a birth. Again, after the death, there is a birth. There will be an end for that, because knowing that I am the Brahman, there is no erroneous notions equipped with me. There is no impressions, because I am not human body. Bija abhavam dadva. Dadva, burning. Everything get burned now. Inside all my erroneous notions and my desires that I am a human body, I need to enjoy that, I need to grasp that, everything. That has been finished. By knowing the reality only, we can give up the unreal notions. Without knowing the reality, a person will not give up unreal notion. Knowing the rope, I will give up the unreal notion about the snake. Similarly, knowing that I am Brahman, I will give up the unreal notion regarding I am human body. Thus, a person, Dadva, knowledge is the fire. Jnanagni Dagda Karmanam Tamahuf Panditam Buddha. In the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, almost 36 or 38, that verse, in that, a person who has burned all his erroneous notions with fire. of knowledge. This knowledge is a fire. It will burn all unwanted desires, unwanted misconceptions, everything that is being told here. By the knowledge, a person will burn all kinds of unreal notions regarding body, mind, sense complex, and a person will stay tuned in the knowledge what she or he has received from the traditional teacher. There is no way other than staying inside this knowledge. When we receive the real knowledge, why should we go again to the unreal world? That is what being told here. Atmana pravishtaha. After burning all kinds of erroneous notion, a person will enter inside the knowledge about oneself. And na punaha jayade. He will not take a birth again. Na punaha jayate. He will not take a birth again like a dog, like a bird. Even if there is a possibility for a human being, he will not or she will not take a birth. The knowledge will put an end for the births and death. Knowledge will put an end for the birth and the death. It's very important. We are here to put an end for the birth and death cycle. Janana Marana Samsara Vichitti is my human goal. The cutting of the Janana Marana Samsara. That only it can happen by receiving the knowledge properly from a traditional person. After knowing I am the whole Brahman, I am the Purnam Brahman, there will be no birth, no. This is what being told here. Na punaha jayade turiyasya bija abhavad. Turiya is not a cause for anything. It will not become the cause for another birth because there is no casuality. There is no causal instinct in Turiya. When we think ourselves, the body, there is a Lord, and I become a devotee of this Lord. These are all pending understanding, a partial understanding of the truth. When we think all these things, I will reach to that world of the Lord for Vaikunta, Kailasam, anywhere. Even if Jesus have a world, we will reach heaven. These are all partial understanding, pending understanding regarding the reality. We will not go anywhere. We will give up the body and we will become the entire Brahman, which is free from name and form, so that there is no sorrow and pain. There is no other limitations. That is what, there is no casual, there is no causal instinct for Brahman. Bija turiyasya abhijatvad. There cannot be a potential to get one birth because turiyasya, the locus, the Brahman, doesn't have the instinct to become one more thing in the world. Nahi rejju sarpayoho vivege rejwam pravishtaha sarpabuddhihi samskarad punaha purvavad tad viveganam utthasyati. See, nahi, indeed it will not happen. Rejju sarpayogo vivege, getting the discrimination between the rope and the snake. Rajwam pravishtaha, the serp merged inside the rope after the knowledge. There is no physical merging, it's only the correction inside our mind. The correction will make the snake to merge inside the rope. I always think only rope exists now because the sarpa is disappeared. So Rajwam Pravishtaha, that snake which has already entered inside the Rajju, the rock, and also the Sarpa Buddhi. Sarpa Buddhi means thought about this is a snake. Samskarat, because I have a culture of thinking this is a snake, this is a snake. But this samskara is not at all there after realizing the reality. Punaha purvavad. Again, as though what we have committed a mistake before the knowledge, vivekam utthasyadi. Similarly, right now, after knowing that this is a rock, a person will not get shaken. A person will not get confused. Oh, even though it is a rope, there is a snake also. On the rope, there will be a snake. That confusion is not at all there. Similarly, after knowing I am Brahman, there is no confusion that I am this body. And also, in this world, one object cannot be two things after a period of time. It is milk also, it is curd also. No, no way. Milk has converted into curd due to some action. We cannot say it is a buffalo, it is a donkey also. No way. Donkey is always donkey. You cannot give the buffalo buddhi on donkey. Why? Donkey will always remain a donkey. Similarly, Brahman remains always Brahman. We just misconcluded that not knowing the Brahman, on the Brahman, what is perceived is a body, and the body exists, and I am this body. This non-discriminative ideas are given up by knowing I am the Brahman, I am the Atman. Manda Madhyama Adhiyam tu Pradipana Sadhaka Abhavanam Sanmarga Gaminam Sanyasinam Mandranam Padanam Cha Klipta Samanya Vidam Yada Ukta Upasyamanaha Omkaraha Brahma Pratipattaye Alambanam Bhavati Alambani Bhavati Manda Madhyama Dhyam, the intellect, for a dull intellect, for a medium intellect. A person who is successful in the empirical world, but they don't have any idea regarding the spirituality. This is called Madhyama Adhigari, Madhyama Diya. A person will be successful. He will have cars, he will have houses, he will be traveling from one country to another country for his business. He is rich in empirical world, but there is no idea about oneself. Madhyama Adhigari, Manda Adhigari. A person doesn't have any idea how to deal with the world, how to deal with the spirituality. For them, Pratipanna Sadhaka Bhavana. One should want to know the reality about oneself. And the people who are having some disciplines, people who are doing some sadhanas, people who are having some commitments toward the spirituality, even though they don't know the exact thing, for them. And also the sannyasis, those sages who has given up their empirical world and material life, matranam padanam cha kritasya, they know that the three letters and the three states are equal and they represents each other. And klipta samanya vidam yada ukta yadavad upasyamanaha. For them, for those who are having dull wit or madhyama, having some success in the empirical world, but they don't have any idea in the what is spirituality, who am I, everything. For them, And also for the sages, for also who are having lot of disciplines and who are having values, for them to know oneself, this Omkaraha, the uttering of Omkara and knowing the idea of the Omkara will help them to recognize who am I. Brahma Pratipattaye Alambani Bhavati. It becomes a support. It becomes their tool to know who am I. So Brahman is to be meditated. Brahman is to be understood by the people who are committed for the spirituality, not for the knowledge, not for the people who have already the knowledge of Brahman. Brahmajnaninam tu na dhyanam. There is no meditation on Brahman for the people who already know who is Brahman. Those who want to know Brahman should meditate on Om. For the Manda Madhyama Adhikarinam Diyam. Dullwit and discrimination is not at all there. Some way of discrimination is there. And for the people who want to go through the spiritual path, they should take the Omkara as an instrument, as a means, as a tool, and meditate on that. Try to understand that it will become the real support to know who am I, to get the knowledge of Brahman. Tadaja Vakshyadi. And also it is told that Ashramaha Trivida Hinaha. It is also told Ashramaha Trivida Hinaha. It is told here there are four ways of living in our spiritual path. So, ashrama means first is the stage of studying the scriptures for 24 years under a traditional teacher. In olden days, in India, in our country, everybody will go to live along with their traditional teacher for 24 years. This is the stage of student. Then they will enter into the householder life. Then after that, they will enter into the Vanaprastha life. What is meant by Vanaprastha? Fulfilling all the responsibilities, and they will go to the same teacher to, to put out all the vasanas which are been accumulated in our household life. And they want to become what they are. They want to realize who are they, because already they have studied with the Guru. These three stages are considered as a path, as a way to reach the sannyasa ashrama. So in these three stages, one needs to chant Omkara to reach the last stage, what we call the knowledge of the people who are having the knowledge of Brahman, who are sages. For them, chanting of Omkara is not necessary. For these three stages, when you are household, when we are in the household life, when we are as a student, when we are as a Vanaprastha, who have packed the things from his house towards the house, his traditional teacher, to live with him. For them, this is essential to chant the Omkara along with its meaning. For the people for the people who have given up all the notions regarding household life and etc., and they know what is Brahman, they are Brahman without limitation. They need not to chant or necessary. They understood everything. That there is no purpose of chanting the Brahman. It is futile for them to chant Omkara because they already know that they also came in this way. Apart from them, all three ashramas, all three stages of life, those people who are living all these three stages should chant Omkara morning and evening. More, I will talk about this last sentence in the coming class. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaah Gobrahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshadu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Deshoyam Kshoparahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaah Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschat Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om